Paul Joyce has said that Liverpool have triggered the release clause for Jeremy Frimpong at Bayer Leverkusen, and he will likely be the Reds' first summer signing of the window. So look, little one, early days there, just to get early doors, just for everyone that came in early. We will talk about that in more detail, of course, to the best of our understanding. It can be paid in 4 installments, but, you know, we'll worry about that. So it's not done then. Okay, so... A transfer can't be done before a window opens, my genius of a friend. But I'll tell you what, I'll just make your life a lot easier, my life a lot easier, and we'll just get rid of your smart arse comment. 1 second. Yeah, again, not here to put up with people's stupidity or people being an asshole. It is done. If you want to argue about semantics of it, fair enough. But again, we can't break transfer rules and register a player before a window opens. That's just not possible. But again, you've plenty of other channels you can go and view, mate, and be smart to, but I'm not here to listen to your nonsense. So yes, it is done. It is done. Everything has been agreed pretty much with regards to the wages and stuff like that, and he will become a Liverpool player. He will be Liverpool's first signing of this summer's transfer window. But there's lots more to come after that, and what we're going to try and figure out tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly how far along we are with other deals and what will we expect with regards to outgoing. So there is a load to get through tonight. So look, where do we want to really kick off tonight then? If you want to talk Frimpong, well, let me say this. It's going to be a 5-year contract. The release clause has now been triggered, as we've seen by Paul Joyce. So it's just a matter of when at this point. Wages, as we know, isn't going to be a stumbling block with anybody. It's been mentioned numerous times that it's not going to be a problem. And he's already interestingly been at the AXA, although not for a transfer talk. Do you remember when we played Leverkusen in the Champions League? They were invited to train at the AXA the day after, and that was something that was taken up by Xabi Alonso and the Leverkusen team. So we've already had the likes of Wirtz and that have a little look around the AXA, so he knows how impressive that training facility would be. I know we want Frimpong as a right back, but if Bradley bulks up and fixes injury issues, would Frimpong become a long-term Salah replacement? So, look, I can't say to you about long-term replacement being a guarantee, but what I could say to you is you're on the money there with a possible cover for Mohamed Salah. For instance, if Salah goes, or when Salah goes to the AFCON, well, maybe we see Frimpong push further up on the right-hand side. I just don't think long-term we could rely on him to put up the numbers, or even close to the goals, especially that Mo does. But he could certainly fill in that position short term. And interestingly, on Chiesa, this one's quite weird. Just before it went live, I just seen something posted from LFC Transfer Room, and they're crediting an Italian journalist, Ciro Venerado, who said the agent of Federico Chiesa is unaware of any approval from Liverpool to sell Federico to Napoli. There's only denials. So genuinely don't know what's going on around the Chiesa situation. Be nice to get some clarity on what Liverpool's stance is here, whether they want Chiesa to continue with the club and maybe he does get given opportunities, or as these reports from Italy continue to grow about a potential move to Napoli, if there's something in that. I just don't know at the moment what's happening. It did look like they were approaching something resembling an outline of a deal, according to reports from Italy, but let's wait and see what happens with it. Petty of me, hey ho, love the fact that we seemingly have replaced Trent before he's even gone out the door. See you, pal, enjoy your paella. I don't like paella, but thank you. Look, it's nice to get that one boxed off nice and quickly, because remember, we had a conversation where Liverpool were eyeing up the possibility of bringing in another right back, and we were told many times that it wasn't a priority. But look how quickly this has moved. And as you've seen, we've gone from Liverpool are looking at it to Liverpool accelerated it when Trent told Liverpool that he was going to be departing in March time. Liverpool have been communicating apparently with Leverkusen since December about their interest, and now we've got that news that the release clause has been triggered. So happy days and welcome to the club. So do you think Slot would use Frimpong and Kirkes as wing backs further up the pitch and start using a back three? I also think Diaz was a false nine experiment if Wirtz comes. You'll never walk alone, my dude. Well, thank you. And I don't think we'll change into a back three. No, because I don't think we have enough centre-backs first and foremost. I don't think we have anywhere near enough. There is nothing to say, though, that we don't tuck into a back three and have a midfielder cover the right back situation or the left back situation, as we've seen before when Trent or Robbo was flying forwards. I think What I'd say, Shane, is we shouldn't try to figure this one out for now. Let's just see who comes in, and then we'll try to figure out in pre-season what way Arna looks at utilising that squad. This just seems like an opportunity that Liverpool thought would give us two good options on the right-hand side. Was very, very affordable price-wise. Ticks the homegrown quota box as well, as Liverpool need to look at that. So it just seems like a deal that makes sense, you know? We can all debate back and forth about where we think his best position will be, or if we needed a more defensive-minded right back, or anything. You know, that's what we can do as fans. But the club looked at it and probably went, £30 million, 4 instalments, and his wages are fairly reasonable enough as well. Yes, please. And I don't blame them. I think it's good business. Mythical Returns. Thank you, mate, for being around with us as well for 21 months. I was nervous about the window, but it's looking like we're finally showing some ambition. Yeah, I'll believe that when they get over the line, though. Like, Frimpong's great, don't get me wrong, but that's a signing that I would expect us to make numbers-wise. You know, he's tried and tested in a good league. He's an international. He's got friends and colleagues at Liverpool. He came up through Manchester City's academy. He's homegrown, and it's 30 million quid. So that seems like a very Liverpool-type deal. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good piece of business. Like when we signed Georgie Mamardashvili, whatever happened there, the price we got him for, I think, was always going to be good business. And Jeremy Frimpong, obviously, is going to give us more energy on that right-hand side with Conor Bradley, and it's going to be interesting. Do you think Kirkes is next after Frimpong? It depends. Like, I could sit here and say yes, but it depends on what the players' camp wants as well. Like, does he want to take a little bit longer to have a think? And actually, I can't believe I'm about to mention them again, but unfortunately I have to bring Real Madrid's name into the conversation around Kirkes. It is from Marca, and I took this, I believe, from the Echo site, so go over there if you want to read the story. It said, Liverpool just can't seem to escape them in the transfer market. It has been reported from Spain, but Real Madrid have Milos Kirkes on their radar, as well as the Reds. They say here in a fresh update, Marca say he's on the list, but behind Benfica's Alvaro Carreras. And here's hoping that for Liverpool's sake, they can move for Kirkes quickly. Now, there is no excuse for us around Kirkes. If we lose out on him and he was number one target, it will be unforgivable. That's what I would say, because we know that Hughes has the relationship with the agent. We know that Liverpool have been in need in that position. We know the parameters of what the deal would cost. And I hope that we do follow through on it and we get the deal sorted out, because how exciting would it be to kick off the window early doors with Frimpong right, Kirkes left? I mean, hello. Welcome to the transfer window.